It's not as bright. See on the phone now, it's brighter than that. All praises to the Most High and Yahweh shall bless on this Wednesday class. We're going to be to Ruth is an Israelite, period. We done had the discussion before in the classroom. We had people had differences on this thing. But before we even start, let's do this first. Go to the table of contents, your book.
You this one first?
No. In the Bible. Go to the beginning. Now, go all the way to where it's giving you the. I thought about this too. Read Genesis. Go read them down the line.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Books, the Torah. Who are the Torah talking about? Talking to Israelites, right?
That's right. Joshua, Judges.
Judges. Talking about who? The judges of Israel, and was out the first one that brought it into the land, right? Skip that next one. Go to the next one. Skip that one.
Samuel. Kings. Chronicles.
Okay. Those books about. Say it loud. Go ahead.
Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalm, Proverbs.
Right. Who are those books about?
Israelites.
Say it loud.
Israelites.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes, Songs of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentation, Ezekiel, Daniel, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi.
Who are those books about?
The Israelites.
Okay, the New Testament.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Bruce, James, Peter, John, and Jude, Revelation.
About
the Israelites.
The Israelites. Now go back and get the one you skipped. Why all of a sudden now that book is about some of our nation? Don't make no sense, huh? The whole Bible. We got one book. Oh, we got to talk about this woman here, because we had the Samaritan, which was an Israelite, and then even talk, and they don't even know yet if that was an Israelite or not anyway. But reason, Nation of Israel think all of these books is about Israelites, except for the one. Don't make no sense. If it should, you must have quit. They don't make no sense. Now, Ruth is a Hebrew name that means friend. The other sister, Orpah, is a Hebrew name meaning neck or front. So if Ruth, first of all, was a Moabite, why is she a Moabite name? She got an Israelite name. Let's go into Ruth. No, where I started at. Let's go in 3. Just to let y'all in on a little secret to those that didn't know. The Moabite area in Moab, we owned at the time. We ruled parts of Moab. At one time, we ruled all of Moab. So when we were there, and when we left out of there, we still had a remnant. Better yet, read that.
The book of Numbers, chapter 36. And if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from of our father. and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribes where they are received, so shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance.
I want to keep that scripture there in mind right there, because this is something that went on when we get to Ruth. And we're going to go right there, and we're going to Deuteronomy 34. Fine. Remember that one right there, 36:3. I want to get you out in your head. So remember Numbers 36:3.
The book of chapter 34 and verse 31. And Moses went up from the plains of Moab under the mountain of Nebo.
Go ahead, go back and start over again. Read that from the beginning.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 34 and verse 1. And Moses went up from the plains of Moab unto the mountain of Nebo.
Nebo, yeah.
To Pisgah, that is over against Jericho. Shoot all the land of Gilead unto Dan.
That's from the bottom, and he's in Moab. All this land, he's looking from this point on, all, which is the northern part of the northern kingdom. So he's all there.
And all Naphtali in the land of Ephraim and Manasseh of Judah unto the outermost sea.
And that's from the southern part. So he looked at the southern part of the. So when Moses is in Moab, which is to the west, to the south of Judah. So and Moses is here, and he's looking out all the way north up to Naphtali and Dan, all the time. So that means from the place that I'm at right now, and anything is our land. I just want to show y'all because we act like Moab was the Chinese before. No, that was promised to us. That's why we kept taking it. Every time we had a kingdom that was ruling, taking land, we went back and took our own land back. So when they came and took Israel, that's why they got in there into Moab. Because we took their land, we had wars with them. Just like the Canaanites, we took their land with them. Just like Edomites, we took their land down at the bottom too, because that was promised. So if you go through the history, look at your map, we got parts of Edom at certain times. And we had damn near all of Edom and all of Moab.
That's right.
We're going to show you maps later on too. So Moab of our nation, not the people of Moab, not the Moabite, the Chinese people, but the Moab, the land was our land. And just like Jerusalem was our land, and it's no longer ours. So with that being said, keep going. Where you going? Where you at?
Verse 3. And the south and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city.
Hold on.
And the south.
And the what?
And the south.
In Moab, right? So sitting in Moab, that means the land from Moab, wherever I'm at, all the way up north and south of me, meaning there's other part of Moab behind me. Right? Con. Therefore, he's telling us all this is our land. This is what I'm just giving y'all a base on. This was ours. We have. So to think that ain't no Moabites, no Israelites are in Moab, when this is talking like in America for a long time after you stay there for a while, like the ones that's in Africa still, they calling themselves wherever they from. And whatever in names, the Zimbabwe, all of those different nations there. That's what they think of. But they even know tribes over there. something we never knew. But at the same time, just like everybody else, when they stay in there for a long time, if you're born and raised in a state, you're not really getting taught your history. You just think you are from where you at. You try your best and try hard. We tried our best to think about it. Yeah, we're from Africa. You be thinking in your head, okay, well, what part of Africa we from? You know, when we want, what was in the Congo? We don't know. We just try to envision ourselves. But now you got the kids now, the youngsters now, growing up knowing they Israelites. They got a different mindset now because they getting taught this now. If we were taught that was coming out, guess what? We would have known we not Americans.
Mm-hmm.
We would have known not Mexicans. We would have known we not Native American Indians or Native Indians. We would have known this. But after 1200, 15, you don't see that no more. Especially not anymore. Now, go ahead.
Verse south in the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm to Zoar.
Go there in the 5.
Verse 5. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab.
He died where?
In the land of Moab.
Meaning that we was occupying Moab. So just getting your mindset to let you know Israelites way before we even get to this, way when we ain't even got the land yet. We don't get the land to who? To Joshua, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are already in Moab doing our thing. Moabites was just like the Edomites, wouldn't let us pass through their land.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High gave us some of their land and gave us some more, the Moabites. Because they were being good. Y'all just seen us come across that sea, man. All we doing, we ain't asking to stay here. We just go through. They made it a problem for us. So guess what? It's something to take the land. You don't sit up there and have me starve out and you just seen us come out of this captivity. So it's only right. I'm gonna take your land. If I come up, I'm going back. Yeah, boy, I'm coming back to get you. So y'all did that to me. Yeah, okay. Can we keep our land? No. You ain't keeping nothing. Don't sit up there and gonna hold me back. So, man, go ahead. Where you at? You had 5. You finished that?
So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died in the land of Moab.
Oh, and then go to 6. Go ahead.
But according, he was buried,
and
he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab, over against Beth Peor. But man kneweth his sepulchre unto this day.
Don't nobody even know where he born, but he was where his sepulchre is. But we know one thing: he was buried well, Moab. So this letting you know we occupy these areas way before Ruth steps on the scene. Period. So when y'all reading that, now let's go on over.
I drop down verse 8.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 8. And the children of Israel wept for Moses.
Oh, the children of who?
Of Israel wept for Moses in the plain of Moab.
Wait, man. They don't think we was there. Read that again.
And the children of Israel
children of who?
The children wept for Moses in the plains of Moab.
In the where?
In the plains of Moab.
Go ahead.
Days. So the day of weeping and mourning for Moses were ended.
So we was all over the place, man. I'm just giving y'all a little history on this. We had Moab. Are y'all getting it? Before we the book of Ruth yet, I'm just letting you know we was already there before.
See, is people would think how it's set up on a map. You would think that Moab is way right here,
right south of us.
And how it goes, that's how the map looks. It's like a little sea right there. It's like a little river right there. But how it's set up from it was Judah, then it was Moab and Edom right here. all this land is right here together. It's just like it'll be if it was like it'd be like Grand Prairie, Arlington.
No, state of Texas, and you got part of Mexico down south.
Like that
and
too.
And on the west, because
you can do it like
you
that
got
too.
You got the Dead Sea.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom of the Dead Sea, soon as you come around that corner, you in Moab.
That's right.
Soon as you go south around the Dead Sea, coming out of Judah, you in the Moab.
And on the top part, and on the southern part, like because when Judah and Israel was split, the southern part of Israel, parts of Israel was in the Moab too.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
And some Edom, we had that too.
Yeah.
They had a little piece left. We had a whole. That's why, man, boy, you got to understand that, because when y'all reading the Bible, they're talking about Israel. Because there was stuff going on. Wars were going on, fighting people back over the land. Go ahead. Where you at now? Let's finish on that. Yeah. Let's go to the book of Ruth now. To the Ruth now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to read Ruth. Now, first of all, read that first. I want to show y'all first, too. Because this, we know these Edomites, they try to figure this Bible out. They got scholars to go through this Bible, right? This is one of my Bibles, and this is the commentary. In fact, no, I take that back. Kenneth Copeland Ministries on this one. But this is one of their studies. This is the commentary. I read the commentary sometimes just to figure out what these white folks think about this book. They trying to get out of it. Because a lot of stuff they don't know. They got scholars that try to come in. Read that out.
The book of Ruth.
Hold on, let me warn you. Some of these things in there, not all of them, but you'll discern, you'll be able to discern.
Ruth derives its name from the principal character. The biblical scholarly youth, young Moabites, much information concerning the customs of the ancient Near East and provides with some valuable data.
Notice how they put an emphasis on Moabites too. So they locked in. See right here.
The ancestors of King David. It also demonstrates concern for all mankind, Jews and Gentiles alike. The book was read at the Feast of Pentecost. The historical setting places the book in the era of the judge, in the era of
now the reason they emphasizing on it was read at the Feast of Pentecost. You know why they emphasizing that? Anybody. The reason being because what did the Christians say that was happening at the Pentecost? People from everywhere, but these were Israelites from everywhere at Pentecost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, they try to tie that in because they use that same Pentecost thinking that they in it. So that's why when I read this, I always like to read what they think because they don't know this Bible. And it's funny because it's in the Bible, but these are the major scholars that did this have no idea about this Bible. And read, it's gonna get a little deep.
Such verse places the book in the era of the judges.
Mm-hmm. In the era at this time, the judges, the last judge was who? Samuel. It's telling us about in that time of the judges' time. So that way we got to get a period of when Ruth and all. This is right before who? King David came to reign, and Solomon came. Right at this time, right before that, at that time. Go ahead.
At a time of great famine, such a condition existed in the days of the Mennonites' oppression. Was the occasion spoken in the book of Ruth. The date of the middle of century BC would be distinctly possible for the event here.
Now it's trying to figure out a date. They trying to come up with a date at this time. Go ahead.
Besides the opening statement of the book, the internal revealed an intimate acquaintance Hebrew and Near East social custom.
Now see, now they trying to make the ancient Hebrew with us being mixed with the other cultures. That's what he's trying to get at now. See, they was mixing back then. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. We had rules and laws. If you was right here when we was ruling, we had rules. That's right. We had our law, statutes, and commandments. If you didn't do that, you ain't gonna be here. Besides, remember, I told you at the time we were putting you to death. So if you ain't doing the stuff we doing in the time, we occupy that. We wasn't allowing you to be in our land. We wasn't allowing nobody else coming up in here with their, not when we read.
These data argue strongly for an early date. Moreover, Jewish tradition links Judges and Ruth together as one book to an earlier date.
And look, they linked it together as one book, right? Judges of who? What people? Israel, right? Okay. Since at this time it was the book of Judges. The Judges was in all statutes and commandments, right? Okay. Since we're there, let's go. Let's see. Give me Deuteronomy. What? No. Chapter 3, verse 28. We haven't touched Ruth yet. We're just going through commentary. Do little things. Go ahead.
Chapter 3 and verse 28. But charge Joshua and encourage him, for he shall go over before this people, and he shall cause them to which thou see. So we abode in the valley over against Bethel.
That's another one saying all of that land.
That was Moses.
And I wanted to go to where I needed the precept on the law. What was that? Judges. Judges, right?
About what?
Well, we just came out of. This was a period of.
No, that was in the commentary.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. It's a law that I was looking for.
About the marriage of the other.
Yeah, better yet, just 27 and 3. You can go ahead. I mean, 7.
Okay. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages.
Because hold on, that's what I was trying to get at. We was in a period of Judges, right? Okay, since the judges enforcing the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, even though Israel would not do it, and some of them were. But at the same time, they are enforcing law, statutes, and commandments. So, therefore, our law, statutes, and commandments that they was emphasizing at the time in the period. Read.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them, not give unto his sons, nor his daughters shalt thou take unto thy sons. They will turn away thy son from following me.
Now, were we not implementing this law? Our forefathers have sinned by it, but guess what? Did our forefathers get blessed from doing this? From doing any of that? No, we never did. Better yet, forefathers, and see what happened with him when he was in sin. See, let's go to 12, verse 18. Let's see if the Most High been blessing us. Better yet, stay cold that spot right there. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass,
It shall come.
thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
This is not talking about anybody else. This is talking. If we don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, period. If we don't listen, not the other nations. If Israel don't listen to them, go ahead.
To observe to commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
Well, no, we're gonna get some blessings out of this thing.
That all these curses shall come upon thee.
And now, why do you think we was in the Midianites captivity? That's when our mind. We was in that because why? We was in captivity because we kept going into sin. These was our punishments. It wasn't a long captivity, but it was a captivity. That was when I whooped. You know, it wasn't that was just with a belt. You know, it wasn't when we got when we came to America. Or with the RCA Tyco Tracks piece. It wasn't that kind of whooping, but it was a whooping. You know, there was that one your mama had that belt was tearing you up pretty good. That's the kind we was in now. It was a little small captivity. It wasn't, but in these captivities, because we still was breaking God's law. Right. That's why we was in that. So that means that's just going. I say that to say this. We still sinning. We was not get blessed from our sins. God did not call evil good and good evil. He didn't go against his word. He go against what he did. He didn't bless. Better yet, now let's go to 2 Samuel. You got that 12 and 18.
I had to hit that. I'm gonna get another step on that too.
I got you.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 12 and verse 18. But it shall come to pass, and it came to pass on the 7th day and it came to pass on the 7th day that the child died.
Now look, this is David. This is David and Bathsheba's her first when she got pregnant, when he did a thing. Now, the Most High bless him with that baby. David got out. He fasted. He cried out. He wouldn't do nothing. And the Most High, all that he did. Read that again.
And it came to pass on the 7th day that the child died.
That the child did what?
That the child died.
No.
The child died.
No, they had that baby shower for him.
That the child died.
The child. So my point on this is, makes us think that out of a sin, God is going to make that do his work under blessing. He didn't do it with David. Solomon sinned. Guess what? He lost the whole kingdom for us. So when we get to Ruth, how do we figure? We read the law at 7 and 3. So how, when we get to Ruth, all of a sudden, because it's a blessing in her child, a very important blessing came out of that. A very major step came out of that. One of the biggest keep it up for us came out of that. Not because we was.
A couple major came.
Exactly.
I just was.
And he didn't bless us because we was in sin, because we not to take don't be mad. So all of a sudden we thinking God is going to bless us in our sin, and this is what Christians think. But yeah, go ahead.
And the servant David feared that the child was dead. For they said, behold, while the child alive, we spake unto him, and he would not hearken unto our voice. So he then vex himself if we tell him that the child is dead.
That the child is dead. Now go down to 20 and go down to 20 and through 23. Go ahead and read that. Start at 20.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 20 and verse 20. And Joab answered and said, far be it.
No, 12.
12 and 20.
Yeah, this right there where you was at. That's a lot there. I should have stopped when I heard pages turn.
The book of 2 chapter 12 and verse 20. And David arose from the earth and washed and changed his apparel and came into the house of the Lord and worshiped. Came to his own house when he required that before him, and he did eat.
Because see, David, when at that time, he didn't eat. He didn't eat after his son had died, or before his son died. He was trying to save his son's life when his son in working order. When his son was sick. Doing all this. Now he decided it's time to eat. Read.
Then said his servant unto him, what thing is this that thou hast done? Fast.
He fasted. This is what he was doing, trying to save it. So he wanted his son to leave. She pregnant with him. Oh man, he fasted. He doing all this, trying to get. Go ahead.
And weep for the child while it was alive. But when the child, thou didst arise and eat bread.
See, when that child was alive, trying to get all that, he was doing everything. Then the child died. So now he's all in.
It's over with now.
Yeah, it's done. You know what I'm saying? He did go.
And when he said,
and he said,
while the child was yet alive and wept, for I said, who can tell whether God will be gracious that the child may live? But now he's dead. Wherefore can I bring him back again? I shall go to him, but he shall not return. And David comforted Bathsheba, his wife, and went in and lay with her, and she bare a son, and he called his name Solomon.
Oh, and he called his name what?
Solomon.
See, now, he was punished for his sin, right? His child died, right? But after his thing and crying out to the Lord, then his blessing came. So when David sinned, he didn't get a blessing. His son died.
He had to pay for it. He had to pay for it.
Now, where you was reading on the commentary.
Okay, see where we're at. Okay. These data argue strongly for the earlier dates. Moreover, canonical tradition linked Judges and Ruth together as one book. And again, thus seeing the book of Ruth provides its reader with a light of spiritual faithfulness in a period of otherwise spiritual darkness. Authorship. The book of Ruth is not known, although several suggestions have been made, the most prominent of which is Samuel.
They think Samuel was at the time of what? Judges. Samuel was the last judges at this time in that area.
Because some of the custom have to be explained to the readers, and a sketch from Ruth's day down to King David is appended to the book.
See, and at this time, these commentators, Moab, just like a lot of Israelites are thinking Moab. Moab, they thinking the same. They thinking that sister Moab is giving me right there. So therefore, she was a Moab at that time. Not realizing we occupy Moab at this time. Read.
Some portions of Ruth have received a final editing in the early days of the United. The author has many purposes. Historically, he provides information as a certain activity as to certain activities and customs in the periods of judges. Theologically, the book emphasizes the sovereignty activities of God, providential working in the affairs of man.
Okay, now let's giving us some historical points. And that historical point is that we was occupying Moab. That's one they didn't get. It was at the time with Samuel. Samuel was doing what? King David. All this time, just right before all that. And if they said Samuel had something to do with this, this is right at that time. So even when Saul was king, he was occupying Moab. And all the way back in Moses' time, we was occupying Moab. Go ahead.
Not only does God promise the seed of Abraham go on through the troubled time, but he so arranged the details of the earth history and chose the line to include salvation for Gentiles as well.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm gonna have you read this.
For Gentiles as
read
well.
that again, that last part.
But he so arranged the details of the earth and chosen the line to include salvation for the Gentiles as well.
And what do they say? They're saying everything. See, they using this book, Ruth, to put the Gentiles in it.
To grab them in.
Christianity. Yeah, grab Ruth. So when we Israelites talk about, yeah, Ruth is a Moabite, she was no, we're doing exactly. So you also, as an Israelite, are putting Ruth, whole nation in because of Ruth now. And that's the same thing to Christianity.
We know that through scriptures that Moab is not entering into the kingdom.
Exactly. The scriptures, and you're right. And I forgot about that one. I should have brought that one out. That's another thing. That's right. And then,
so if that's the case, then Ruth won't make it.
And Ruth was one of the seeds of Yahweh. We know also there was two types of Gentiles. They use Ruth to make it like they do in the New Testament. They use the Old Testament. The same thing as saying in the New Testament. But the New Testament's supposed to be done away with. But when they do God go in it, they try to bring it back to something like this. Ignorant as Israelites and be saying that she's a Moabite when we gonna get the history, we ain't even read the book yet. But we already know we occupy Moab constantly. People in there, people born there, children born there. Decades go by, Israelites' children were still born in Moab. Go ahead, finish that up. I wanted to get to that. That was my point.
Okay. Ruth thus provides an important link in the unfolding knowledge. The devotional book provides several analogs between the kinsman redeemer of ancient Israel and that who served as the saving mediator of all men.
Oh, see, putting all themselves back in it. Yeah. See, they using this book. They slick, period. So, and then for us Israelites, when I be hearing that, that's what I'm saying. Go in this too, because you still in the time where you believing that the Gentile.
Yep, because they use the same thing as saying not only just Ruth, like Job. They say Job.
Yeah.
You know, they sleep with.
Where don't say you, Israelite, like that on them, and they run it off with themselves. See, We know how this Bible goes.
Because he said, because they tried to put it as he a mediator for all men.
Time when you go there. Let's open up and go ahead and go on into the book of Ruth. We'll start at chapter 1, verse 1.
The book of Ruth, chapter 1 and verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a land.
So we know in this is the time of the judges. Go ahead. And we know we had some different people at that time too, but that don't make this time. This what was they was just going time. Go ahead.
And a certain man of
Bethlehem, Judah.
Bethlehem, Judah went to sojourn in Moab.
Mm-hmm.
He and his wife and his 2 sons.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the man was
Hold on a sec. Elimelech. But the fact of the matter in the country, we already had land, so why we were going in Moab? Because why? We already got people all over there. We're over there. They didn't just go pop up in another country. Yeah, you know, everything good over here. Why in the world would you think that a man gonna go up? That's like me going. Now, what do you think I'm gonna move to Bangladesh? Now we got our own country.
Mm-hmm.
And then to a place our enemy? Because Moab were our enemy. It's because that was our parts of that was our land. Read.
Shalak. And the name of his wife, was Naomi.
Naomi.
And the name of his 2 sons was Mahlon and Chilon.
Mm-hmm.
Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah, the country of Moab, and continued there. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left and her 2 sons. And they took the wives of the women of Moab.
The women of Moab. Not just because just some Moab, but because they lived there, been in Moab. They've been there. They've been born there, raised. Probably their grandmama was there, great grandmama was there. But they was Israelites in Moab. Read.
And they took the women of Moab and the names of the name of the one Orpha,
which we had went through. Orpha meaning what? The neck or fawn.
And the name of the other Ruth.
Another Hebrew name. Now in Moab, why ain't they got some Moabite names? Got Israelites names. Because they was Israelites living in Moab. That's why. Ruth means friend in Hebrew. Read.
That's right. And and they dwelled there 10 years.
They were there 10 years. So even if they sons, when they kids be born, if they were born, you know what? After a certain while, guess what? They gonna be Moab. This is where we from. Just like even the other ones had it. Bethlehem, Judah, the Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. They got a tribe. They just was in areas. Go ahead.
And Mahlon died also, both of them. And the women was left of her 2 sons and her husband.
Okay, now, and we got that right. Let's go down to chapter 2. That way we go past that right there.
Chapter 2, verse 1.
Yep.
The book of Ruth, chapter 2 and verse 1. And Naomi had a kinsman.
And hold on. Listen. Naomi That was the mother that had the 2 sons by the 2 daughters of Moab. A kinsman. What's a kinsman? Somebody in our bloodline, right? Let me make that clear. Go ahead.
And Naomi had a kinsman of her husband, a mighty man of wealth of the Elimelech of his, and his name was Boaz. And Ruth, the Moabitess, said to Naomi, and go to the field and glean ears of corn after him, and shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter.
Now, hold on. Now, Naomi being an Israelite, coming from out of the Israelite country. Now, this woman to go and try to get with her cousin, no, and she know the laws. She know God's law, statutes, and commandments. So why would she even do that? Why would she even allow that to happen, marry their son? Why would father allow that to them to? They know the law, statutes, and commandments.
And when they called her a Moabite, it's just like some calling themselves American.
Yes, or Mexican.
Yes.
Or Spanish. Spaniards are just that. Well, Spaniards, because they Edomites.
Yeah.
They don't call themselves by that what they really are.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. And she went and came and gleaned the field after, and her hap was to a part of the field belonging unto Boaz, who kindred of Elimelech.
Element. Yeah, you said it. Elimelech.
Elimelech. That's a tough word anyway. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, the Lord be with you. And they answered him, the Lord bless thee. Then said Boaz unto the servant that was set over the reapers, whose damsel is this? And the servant that was over the reapers said unto it, says Salaki, it is the Moabitish damsel that came with Naomi out of the country of Moab.
Now hold on. See, if they just called her Moabitish, she don't have. If it was something different, she was an Israelite that came from the land of Moab. That's why it says Moabish.
ISH.
Yeah, they came from the land of Moab. Now, if I just said, if I said you're American that came from the land of America, I wouldn't have said that came from the land of America, right? Go ahead.
And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather after people amongst the sheaves. So she came and had continued even from to now, that she tarried a little in the house. Then said Boaz to Ruth, hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not to glean in another field, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my maidens. Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go there after them. Have I not charged the young men that have not touched thee when thou art athirst, go unto the vessel and drink of that which young men have drawn.
At this time, he's just telling you can chill here until the time to go reap. Just watch out the fields until it's time to reap when the stuff is gone. You can chill here. I done told the men don't touch her. Go ahead.
Say it again.
It's saying he's just saying he's telling her you can chill, you can stay the night. Stay in my cabins over here until the field is ready to be reaped. Just watch out the field until it's for the reaping to come in. And I done told these Negroes, leave you alone. Don't touch it. You can cheat. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, why have I found grace in thine eyes? Thou shouldest take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger.
I'm a stranger. Now, they brought her back. These were strangers that came from, if you not from here, that's what they called them in Israel. Strangers. If you was an Israelite coming back, that's what they called them when they was at the cost when they were trying to bring that out. These were strangers coming in. You from here? If I'm a Judah and I go into Dan's land, guess what they call me? I'm a stranger. Even though those are my tribe. I mean, that's not my, but that's my people, the nation. That's our nation. But even though I'm not from there, so they really looking at her as a stranger because part of when they say Moab, that some of that's ours, some of it ain't ours. You came down now. You didn't come from Dan or Tally or Vanessa. You came from Moab. So he's looking at her as a stranger. But she's Israelite, as a stranger. Go ahead.
And Boaz answered and said unto her, it had fully shown me all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law since the death of thine, and how thou hast left thy father and thy mother and land of thy
nativity. Now, the land that's young, the nativity, that's what that means. That's the land where, and you left the land where your nativity was born, where you was from. Not her nation of people, the land that she was from. Go ahead.
And art come unto a people which thou knowest not, here too. The Lord recompense thy works, and a full reward be given thee of the Lord God of Israel, under whose wing thou art come to trust. But let's go back to verse 11. I'm going to show you something right quick.
Yeah.
Go back to verse 11.
Go ahead. And Boaz answered and said unto her, it had fully been shown all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law.
Now, he said, now, Boaz said, y'all show me what your mother-in-law showed me what you done. Read.
The death of thine husband.
Okay, now, if we were following the law, statutes, commandments, then her mother-in-law, or then her David would have broke the laws, and Boaz would have broke the laws for taking her to be the wife. So them out of line, but taking a strange woman.
Exactly.
They can't do that.
Exactly.
According to the law, they do that. The woman has to be from one of the tribes.
There would have been a sin before, and it would have been a sin now.
So
it had sin on top of sin.
That's right. You can't do that, man. It does not mix. I just caught that right quick.
Yeah, go ahead and go start on 12.
Verse 12. The Lord recompense thy work, and a full reward be given thee of Israel, under whose wing thou art come to trust. Then she said, let me find favor in thy sight, my Lord, for thou hast comforted me, and for thou hast spoken friendly unto thy handmaid, though I be not like unto one of thy handmaids. And Boaz said unto her, at meal come thou thither and eat bread, and dip thy morsel in vinegar. And she sat beside the reapers, and he reached her parched corn, and she did eat and was sufficed and left. And when she was risen to glean, Boaz commanded his young men, saying, let her glean even among the sheaves, and reproach her not.
She's gonna go out to work. He said, man, leave her alone. She go out to get her what she want out that field. Go ahead. And
let fall also some of the handfuls of purpose for her, and leave them, that she may glean them and rebuke her not.
Leave her alone.
So she gleaned in the field until even, and beat out that she had gleaned the
about an ephah of barley. That's a measurement of barley. That's a certain amount.
And she took it up and went into the city. And her mother-in-law said that she had gleaned, and she brought forth and heard that she reserved after she was sufficed. And her mother-in-law said unto her, Where hast thou gleaned today? Where rottest thou? Blessed be he that did take knowledge of thee. And she showed her mother-in-law with whom she had wrought, and she said, His name with whom I wrought today is Boaz. Her daughter-in-law, blessed be the Lord who had not left off his kindness of the living to the dead.
No, kindness to the living and to the dead.
Blessed be the Lord, blessed be he of the Lord who had not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, The man is near of kin.
The man is what?
The man is near of kin unto.
The man is what?
The man is near of kin unto us.
Now, how? Let's go back and see that. Let's see who said that.
And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, Blessed be he of the Lord who had not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, The man is near of kin unto us.
Unto who?
Unto us.
Us, meaning them too. Oh, he kin us. He kin us. So, in order to be a kinsman, you got to be of the bloodline. The husbands is dead. They no longer in the bloodline no more. That was something else, right? If that was of another nation. He said kin to us. Yes, she's a stranger. But he kin to me.
Still some kin.
Like when you go out of town, you find somebody, you find out you cousin, you never know him. Oh, you. But this is my cousin. This is my kinsman. This is my kinfolk. So if he kin to us, how's she not an Israelite? Finish it up.
One of our next.
No. Hold on. He ain't just a near. He a near kinsman. We ain't that far down the line. You know what I'm saying? He's only like third cousin.
Like my second cousin.
Yeah, somewhere around. He near kinsman. This ain't no long. He near kinsman to us. You and me. Ain't nobody else in the room. You and me. And this ain't because she was married to the kids. This is kinsman. And this is the bloodline.
And this is no grafted in.
Grafted in. Because I'm gonna break that off on grafted in too. Because when you graft something back in, you can't take the same stem and you put it back on the same tree and it grows. I'm doing oak and then put that on the guy doing cedar and expect to grow the seed. It ain't gonna work. That's what, see, they don't even get that when they're talking about grafted in. That's what they're trying to use this Ruth for. These are the same Edomites trying to everybody have fun. Anything you read from the Christianity is so all these other nations can proclaim it. That's all it's about. But right now, Ruth right here, she said, and not only that, near kinsman. And not only that, start over and read that again.
The book of Ruth, chapter 2 and verse 20. And Naomi.
Go ahead.
And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, Blessed be he of who had not left off his kindness to the living and to. Naomi said unto her, The man is near of kin unto us.
She said to the living and to the dead, because we still alive and our sons were dying. And he blessed her, even though her sons were gone. Why? Could give her another one of their kinfolk. Another one of her kinfolk.
One of our next kinsmen.
Of our near. Is it?
Next.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The man is our near. You forgot that part. And they almost said unto her.
Yeah, the man is our of kin unto us.
Mm-hmm.
One of our next kinsmen.
Then one of our next kinsmen. How y'all? I don't see how they skipped that part. No, you better read the whole book and read it very carefully.
So, verse 21. And Ruth, the Moabitess, said,
okay, say it right out there, the Moabitess, but she's still kinfolks to Boaz. So even though she's a Moabite woman, she's an Israelite.
That's right.
Because she left her what? Her nativity.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
And Ruth the Moabitess said, he said unto me also, thou shalt keep fast by my young until they have ended all my harvest. And Naomi said unto Ruth, her daughter, it is good, my daughter, that thou go out with his maidens, that they meet thee not in any other field. So she kept fast by the maidens of Boaz to glean unto the end of the barley harvest and of the wheat harvest, and dwelt with her mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 3, verse 1. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, mother, shall I seek rest for thee, that it be well with thee? Is not Boaz our kindred?
Is our what?
Our kindred?
Is our
kindred?
She asked the question. Now, ain't Boaz our kindred? That's funny. Because it's telling you on the book, it's asking all that, but apparently, somehow we don't get confused. We just don't believe this Bible no more. She ain't our kinfolk. Go ahead.
So, and now is Boaz our kindred, with whose maidens thou was?
Mm-hmm.
Behold, shall he winnoweth barley tonight in the
threshing
floor. Wash thyself therefore and anoint thee, and put thy raiments upon, and get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man until she have done, until he shall have done eating and drinking, and it shall be he lie down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and shall go in and uncover his feet and lay thee down, and he tell what thou shalt do.
He would tell thee what thou shalt do.
And he would tell thee what thou shalt do.
Mm-hmm.
And she said unto her, thou saidest unto me, I will do.
Mm-hmm.
And she went down unto the floor, did according to all that her mother-in-law obeyed her. And when Boaz had,
just go down, drop down to 12.
Verse 12. And now it is, am thy.
Better yet, start at 11.
Verse 11. And now, my daughter, fear not, I will do to thee all that thou requires, for all the city people do know that thou art a virtuous woman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look. So the nations can be a virtuous woman?
No.
I was only given to Israel.
Virtuous woman, what? Proverbs 31, which is what? Talking to who? The Israelites.
Israelites. It's only our women. It's no other nation that's gonna be a virtuous woman.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't graft a virtuous woman. So now it's
think about it though. Like the Bible asks, who can find a virtuous woman? Imagine she was in there. That's why he had to tell them, don't mess with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because they see. Ooh, that's a real one right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real virtuous woman for real.
Mm-hmm.
She had to get food for her long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She doing it, man.
That's why he was looking at it like, hey,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
And that's why he was inquiring of her, man. And so her mother-in-law knew guess what? And all Luke knew what type of woman she was.
Yeah.
That's why she said, "No, go on out there with the maid."
Mm-hmm.
He caught in another field, just stay with them.
Because you remember the other one, the other sister, she went back to Moab.
Mm-hmm.
This one stayed here with her. Now, this old lady gonna be help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back to Moab, you know what I'm saying? It's right there. I don't know them folks up there. I don't know nothing about my kinfolk. I know something about the China before I know something about my own kinfolk. Go ahead.
And it is true that I thy near kinsman.
Mm-hmm.
Howbeit, there is a kinsman nearer than. Let's read it again.
They are all kinfolks. Boaz, Naomi, and Ruth, and the other, like all of them from the nation of Israel.
That's right.
Y'all seeing all this kinsmen in here? Kinsmen. Not only kinsmen, they ain't just saying kinfolk. They're my new folk. They're my next to kinfolk. We just say it all the time. That's my next. That's my close kinfolk back there, man. You can't mess with my close kinfolk, man. I done seen cousins fight for you know, soon.
These my first.
No, that's my first cousin. Son.
Yeah.
You can whip my sister cousin, you can go fight him.
Yeah,
But my first cousin, my next kid, I mean, that's like my brother.
Yeah, that's right. That's how they roll.
Yeah.
And the same attitude that they had back then.
We got them right now.
Yeah.
Same thing. Go ahead. You know how you used to go to family reunion? Your mom and them be, boy, they'll break you all the way down. You the third cousin on your daddy's side by second, you be just in there like, all right, cuz, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, you don't even care, you know it. They're your cousin. That's it. You want to hear, you know, other than all that other stuff, you try to, like, mama. You see, man, here, this is third, the fourth, and fifth one over there, and then you don't want to hear all that. After all that, we be like, hey, cousin, let's go get play the merry-go-round. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need to know.
I didn't play on the merry-go-round.
I'm talking when you little, man. You know, man. Come on, man. Y'all ain't never played the merry-go-round.
I just messed with you, man.
Yeah. So I try to get my idea. You know, you be cool on the merry-go-round with your first cousin. The fourth cousin, you go faster, swing him on. Go ahead, man.
Verse 13, man. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning that if he perform unto thee the parts of a kinsman,
of a what?
Of a kinsman, let him do the kinsman part. But if it be well, but it will not do the part of the kinsman to thee, then will I do the part of the kinsman.
And see, that's what he's talking about when they get back and trying to go into the law. And this was about. This was about the you know, taking on your the wife of your brother who died or whatnot. That's what he's trying to put. Some people like, well, that's what. No, he didn't bring this whole book out. Bring Ruth out. Just I already spoke to you about that law because it's 613 laws. He didn't read them all through the whole Bible. And he dang sure didn't use another nation to bring out one law about this right here. It didn't happen. It's not the purpose. But go down, let's go to 4, chapter 4. We done seen so many kinsmen, man, and kinsmen, kin, near kin. They ain't even calling themselves distant. Group 2. Y'all read it, y'all heard it come out. I hope you got the Bible open. Do not take my word for it. Read it yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't read it yourself. And you come on, you see it. You just make this up. That's why I'm letting them read all of that. That's why I let them read a whole lot of this book. So came and critics can plug and none of that. So we reading the same thing you should have in your Bible. Now I don't know what it's saying in NIV, but I'm sure it's got some crazy stuff in some places in there. But go ahead.
Stop on the top.
Yeah.
The book of Ruth, chapter 4. Then went Boaz up to the gate and set him down there, and behold, the kinsman of Boaz folk came by. the kinsman of whom Boaz spoke about.
But it just don't stop. Go ahead.
Unto whom he said, "Ho, such a one unto turn aside, sit down here." He turned aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elder of the city and said, "Sit here," and they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman Naomi, that it is come again out of the country, selleth a parcel of land, which our brother,
which was our brother Elimelech,
which was our brother Elimelech.
And see, he said his brother, but they weren't brothers like come out the same father. They was how? They was all of the nation of Israel. That's how his brother. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And I thought to advertise, saying, buy it before the inhabitants, before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. If thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know, for there is none to me besides thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it. And then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, and thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabite, of the wife of the dead, to rise up the name of the dead upon earth.
Because she got to get children. That's how you raise the name up. Go ahead.
And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself.
Now look, they in a room with all these elders and everything up in here. Now, what in the room? What you say when they the fat elephant in the room? What you be saying? The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah, wouldn't that would be kind of weird? All these kinsmen, everybody, brothers and next to kins and near kinsmen and Ruth. Be somebody else. No. How you think she involved in all this? They doing business here. And you think they got somebody, the only person moving somewhere else that ain't no kinsman? No. That's all is a nation of Israel doing nation of Israel business. And through the nation of Israel laws about the land that's going on. Man, go ahead, man.
Verse, and the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Redeem thou my rights to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Now, this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changes. See, now that's exactly what I'm saying. Verse 7 explains that what he's saying. This is a man of Israel. It ain't say no other nation. This is the man of Israel. And I'll get that right on the nail. For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor. And this was a testimony in Israel.
And where?
In Israel.
Go ahead.
Therefore, the kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and to all the people, ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech and all that was Chalon and Malon, the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Malon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of it upon his inheritance.
Now, she couldn't have done that with somebody else. They bringing out the laws.
Let's see.
In this gap. Now, That's showing you that they're going by the law, which we read the law is. Would they be would have done this if somebody was already?
Here you go. The book of Numbers, chapter 25 and verse 20. Chapter 25, verse 5. If brethren dwell together and one and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife and perform the duty brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she bare shall see the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put Israel.
There you go. And that's the reason, one of the reasons Naomi had took the kids back to Israel. Because that's where the husband need to come out. It would have been hard. He had other different nation of men down there. Better yet, go to Sirach, chapter 15, verse 20. What was that Tobit?
4 and 12.
Yeah, let me get Tobit 4 and 12.
Book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a woman to wife.
Hold on. Because whoredom was married to the nation. He said, beware of whoredom, right? So he would have took up on the whore. If she wasn't an Israelite. Go ahead.
Beware of our whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are children of the prophet Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children and their seed.
And that's what these people understood this. These people stood this at this time. They understood this. Go back and drop down to where we at. Go to chapter 13.
The book of Ruth, chapter 4 and verse 13. It took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son.
And she bare. Now, go drop down to 17.
Verse 17. And the woman, her neighbor, gave it a name, saying, this is the son born to Naomi. And they call his name Obadiah. Obed. He is the father of Jesse and the father of David. Now, these are the generations of Pharez. Pharez begat Hezron. Hezron begat Ram. Ram begat Amminadab. Yeah, Amminadab. And Amminadab begat Nahshon. Nahshon begat Salmon. Salmon begat Boaz. Boaz begat Obed. Jesse. Jesse begat David.
Okay. Now let's go to Matthew 1 and 5.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 5. And
but it started at 4. Saying the same thing that we just did this program.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 4. And Aram begat Amminadab. Amminadab begat Nahshon. And Nahshon begat Salmon, and Salmon begat, and Boaz begat
Rashad.
Rashad, and Rashad begat Boaz.
No, Rashad begat Boaz of Rashad.
Okay, and begat Boaz of Rashad, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth.
Why do you think they put that in there? Of Ruth. They didn't name nobody else, mother. This is an indication to let you know that this is the same bloodline that we came from. With that being said, keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Obed
begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David, the king, and David begat of her that had been the wife of Uriah, and begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abed.
That's all we need, because this is right here. When you read that, that's going through the of Yahweh. Now, go to I need one more. I need that's Rock 15 and 20. You're already almost there. Get that up. It's Rock 15 and 20. There's something that everybody know this scripture anyway. Right? But I want to hit you up on that, because go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 15. He had not commanded no man to do wickedly, neither had he given any man license to sin.
So the Most High, yeah, nobody license to sin. Look at it the other way, that'd have been sin on top of sin on top of sin. You get your Yahweh and all of this sin? I think not. I think not. And on that, hold on. Let me get this one more before we even go back. Go back to Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses and overtake thee.
And that's what would have happened if this was all. Yahweh would have been a curse. Lord, Most High don't make no kind of sin.
Jesse, David,
yes.
Solomon.
We would have made way back here. Right. You think he was gonna make all that promise about all this stuff that was gonna happen in the future from sin or from righteousness, his righteousness? Think about it. I'm gonna leave you like that. That's on you now. But with some history, we done read our day in the whole root. And I always say kinsman, next to kin, my kinfolk, kind of stuff through there. So, like I said, and like you got a law before I even hit them up with that. Give you the law before we close out. And make sure, y'all tuning in. If you're on Facebook tuning in, go to YouTube and subscribe to our page, man. And we got a GoFundMe page, so we try to being at your cities and stuff like that. We got little places we be trying to go. There's a lot of people out there that don't have a lot of camps. We ain't just trying to get you to be out there. We want you to get this truth, man. We get out there, hit the streets in your city, and do the things that they're teaching the people. So, hey, you see us on Facebook page, and like that too. So, go to the GoFundMe, you get all the information you need on that. We should be in Atlanta, in the conference down in Atlanta. What is that? January. We'll be down there. Hopefully, go out with some of the brothers down there, meet some new brothers in Israel. Are coming together as a nation. Kind of got to look at some of these different doctrines and stuff and condemn some of it though. But we have had a big eye on everything going on. Get a little more involved with other groups of people. And go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord God in vain, for the Lord will not hold himself guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
And on that note, and hold on, like I said, that Name of this class, Ruth, the Israelite, period. And on that note, we belong.